Welcome to the Jacksonville Haunted Trolley Tour. Whether you're a professional ghost hunter or simply a spectator of the supernatural, we're sure you'll find fascinations the likes of which you've never seen before. Just do your best to find them before they find you! Please take a moment now to silence your cell phones. We don't want to accidentally conjure up a spell full of anger from any of our ghosts or guests. Also, please remain seated with your hands and feet in the trolley at all times. Yes, I'm talking to our trolley driver as well, Three Finger Francis. Remember what happened last time? Remain in your seat and mind your fingers and toes. As much as you might want to reach out and touch a ghost, you don't want to end up like Francis. So, without further ado, let's begin the Jacksonville Haunted Trolley Tour! Now, I don't want to alarm you, but every October, late in the season, strange things happen in Jacksonville. Bone-chilling apparitions and frightening characters of yesteryear return to play out their destiny again and again. So, if you feel a chill on the back of your neck or the touch of a cold hand, don't lose your breath. You just might be in the presence of one of our seasonal spirits. But beware. Stare into the face of evil and evil will stare right back at you. Excuse me. Moving on. In a moment, on our left, we'll be coming to the famous Noonan House, named for Jeremiah Noonan. Noonan owned a leather goods shop specializing in whips, saddles, harnesses, riding crops, and horse collars. As time passed, Noonan opened a general store overflowing with an assortment of more unusual items. In 1892, Noonan built the biggest house in Jacksonville. The plans were ordered from a catalog and built for wife Delia as a Christmas gift. But what you may not know are the terrible tragedies that befell the Noonan household. From the house here, we turn down towards Noonan Square, a lovely neighborhood lined with Victorian and Queen Anne-style homes, much in the style of the Noonan original. But in those early days, this was an empty field where the Noonan children would run and play all day. Some who live here say they can still hear the echoes of children playing. But as you know, strange things happen in Jacksonville. Of the 7 Noonan children, 4 were taken by death, devastating Jeremiah and Delia. The first to go was their eldest son, who died tragically after falling from a horse. Even though Jeremiah made harnesses for every horse in town, those binds were not strong enough to keep their son in this world. And it was only a few years later that their sweet daughter would lose her life to her sweet tooth. Among the treats from Noonan's general store, rancid ice cream became the dessert of her demise. While Delia may have held high hopes after giving birth to twins, it was not long before both were seized by the Noonan curse. The dark shadow that loomed over the Noonan family seemed content with 4 buried in the Jacksonville cemetery, at least for the time being. But as Delia would eventually learn, the storms of grief can erode even the most ironclad of men. After a lifetime of heartache, Jeremiah took his own life. Officially, they called it temporary insanity caused by ill health. But the winds and the whispers carry a different tune. Some say his spirit wanders these parts today, looking to make things right. During his lifetime, Jeremiah Noonan was elected the town's honorable police judge, earning him a wild reputation as the terror of evildoers. Noonan and others believed in the law and had little tolerance for lawbreakers or the morally reprehensible. basically half of Jacksonville. But before a time of police, judges, and law-abiding citizens, the law was non-existent. And justice, well, that was something different altogether. In fact, if a man was merely accused of some wrongdoing, he might just find himself at the end of his rope. Literally. Hangings were frequent on the edge of town. After dead criminals dangled long enough, their ropes were cut and their bodies left to become someone else's problem. But, as you know, say it with me now, strange things happen in Jacksonville. The dead began to rise. From under bridges and behind trees, they'd emerge. Look out! That was a close one. I don't know about you, but I wouldn't want to drink that water. Next up is the haunting grounds of one of our saddest ghosts, Old Warty. Old Warty was accused of walking into the Weaver house, tired and hungry, and demanding some bread. Well, local mob justice didn't take kindly to any out-of-towner looking for a handout. Old Warty was dragged from the house, tried, condemned, and hung on the very same spot, on the very same day. Now he spends all of eternity pining for that last morsel. Sorry, Warty. Wish we could help you. Poor guy. Take a look at him. My goodness, did you see those warts? Now, you won't find this in any of the history books, but rumor has it at one time, Jacksonville was visited by a coven of witches. 3 witchy sisters older than spit who traveled by broom from the old world and gathered here on our left. The eldest sister, Madame Fanghorn, oozed poison from her very lips. She spoke in curses so venomous, wild creatures would die from the sound. Next in line was the gypsy sister, Clairvoyant, who could see beyond the physical world and communicate with the dead. Last but not least, Lady Scarlet, the red-dressed temptress, luring the lost astray with the illusion of eternal beauty and youth. These sisters would gather in the night, casting spells over their cauldron. Well, some of the children in the neighborhood couldn't resist taking a peek. Of course, the witches didn't like that too much. And, as you know, strange things happen in Jacksonville. Many of the children started getting sick. Real sick. Tuberculosis, influenza, typhoid, cholera threatened the lives of every tender young soul. People wanted someone to blame. Was this the work of Madame Fanghorn and her sisters? With torches, pitchforks, and fists of fury, the mob set out on a witch hunt. Dark alleys were lit with fiery orange and flickering shadows, their chants terrifying. The angry crowd seized Madame Fanghorn, taking her just beyond the houses of the holy. Swinging fire and accusations, they aimed to silence her with 7 stitches through her lips. But even twine could not stop her words from seeping out, and the resonance of Fanghorn's curse can still be heard today.
Witches are one, sisters all 3. Come after us, we'll seek vengeance on thee. I curse this small town, your every fear cometh true. Just try to hide. I will find you.
Pretty spooky, huh? The old woman's curse was not the only thing haunting the people of Jacksonville. Ghost sightings were on the rise, and no angry mob or law of man could arrest their unsettling behavior. In the town jail, Lewis O'Neill, a man imprisoned for murder, could never sleep because he claimed the spirit haunting the cell next to him disturbed his every moment. So terrifying were the screams that O'Neill actually gained sympathy from a small group of supporters who staged a seance aiming to prove his innocence. They shocked everyone by summoning Fanghorn's fortune-telling gypsy sister, Clairvoyant, to lead the seance and go beyond the veil. With spells and incantations, she lured the past into her crystal ball. But O'Neill's supporters were in utter dismay when the verdict finally came in.
Guilty! He's guilty! 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 Guilty!
Another example that strange things happen in Jacksonville. Up ahead, around the corner, was the original site of the Catholic Academy, a safe place where children were kept under the watchful eye of the nuns. This same building was later purchased by Charles Savage, a snake oil salesman who bottled and sold his remedies as a cure-all for anything and for anyone. But in the end, greed got the better of him. Looks like he couldn't shed his mortal coil. In just a moment, up ahead on the left, we'll be arriving at the Bingham Knoll campus. This was the site of the first public schoolhouse in Jacksonville and has been the location of many ghostly encounters. Some of the scariest were the hauntings of South Hall. South Hall was a true corridor of terrors, where students stricken with disease were locked away from their families to contain the spread of their illness. If you listen closely, their spirits can still be heard. Look, to your left, the top of the tower. Oh no, the train! Well, as I live and breathe, is that Sheriff Terrell? Folks, we have a real special treat for you tonight. Some of our most notorious ghosts only come back to haunt us every few years.
Hey, weary travelers, lend me your ears. I've been drinking too much. Behold the faces on this wanted poster. These are the wicked Diatramon brothers who tried to rob a train at Tunnel 13. Brothers Hugh, Roy, and Ray used a case of dynamite to blow open the train car trying to get this here gold. Sadly, they killed 4 men on that train, and they didn't actually get away with any of the loot. But dagnabbit, they did get away. Some say they're masters of disguise. Sir, will you please remove your hat? Wait a minute, are you wearing a small person suit? Well, keep your eyes peeled. Oh, speaking of eyes, Ray was last seen wearing an eye patch and Roy had a big fake red beard. I'll leave this here gold satchel with you. It'll be your reward if you help me find them. So if you see any ghostly outlaws, do me a solid and ring that trolley bell of yours. All right, moving on out of here. Tally-ho!
Well, you've heard it from the sheriff yourselves. Be on the lookout. I can't believe it. Francis, how long has it been since we've seen the Diatramont brothers? No, I think it's been more than 3 years, Francis. Anyway, moving on. Oh, Sheriff, do stay away from the water down there. It's a killer. Yes, many of the diseases of the time were spread by contaminated water. Coughing and sneezing in public increased the spread of infection. Sitting with neighbors on the trolley or gathering in church each week put you at a greater risk of knocking on death's door. So, a citywide quarantine was put into effect, and under no circumstance were people to leave their houses. This quickly reminded people of the ghosts in the attic. Just passing time. In a moment, another historic landmark on our left, the Beekman House. Cornelius Beekman opened the first bank of Southern Oregon in the center of town. He believed gold miners and business owners alike should be able to protect their investments and their families. But try as he might, he couldn't protect his 5-year-old daughter Lydia from dying of measles. As you know, strange things happen in Jacksonville. Back in those days, Jacksonville was a gold mine. Literally. But what you might not know is that throughout history, many have believed that eating or drinking gold minerals improves health and vitality and promised perpetual life. People came from all directions to procure the gold elixir. The gypsy's sister, clairvoyant, had everyone convinced that drinking the gold elixir would stave off the angel of death forever, like leading lambs to slaughter. With bellies full of gold and false hope, customers were just a hop, skip, and a jump around the corner from Clairvoyant's Apothecary, an emporium of oddities, amulets, and talismans. Eye of newt and toe of frog, wool of bat and tongue of dog, you never knew what temptations you would find. All of these potions and powders put gold in even greater demand. Mining for gold didn't just mean wealth. For some, it was believed to hold life itself. Thieves of all shapes and sizes were willing to go to great lengths to get their share. From men posing as tax collectors to ladies of late-night persuasion, miners slept with one eye open and one hand on their gold. Nights in the gulch were long and lonely, but the foxy moxie of Lady Scarlet's harlots was more than enough to lure miners out of their doldrums and out of their gold. Yes, business was good, very good, for the temptress Lady Scarlet. The sisters had quite the supply line of gold, from Scarlet's harlots to Clairvoyant's gold elixir. These times sure were strange, but that's why we say, strange things happen in Jacksonville. The Witch Sisters had folks eating right out of their hands. Eating gold, that is. In fact, Clairvoyant bewitched a pair of magicians from a traveling show to demonstrate the power of the gold elixir. But she didn't count on the magician getting hooked and going crazy. After ingesting too much powdered gold one night, the magician missed his mark.
Oh, come on, it's only a flesh wound. Oh, behold the power of the mighty gold elixir! Watch as this flying hatchet just bounces off of her unpierceable perfection.
No!
One,
No!
two.
No!
Oh wait, let me put my blindfold on.
Please, no!
Okay, 1, 2.
We'd better get moving now, Francis. Witches, epidemics, overdoses, oh my! People were dropping like flies. Wagons would roam the streets at night, collecting the dead.
Bring out your dead! Bring out your dead! Bring out your dead!
Bodies were brought to the coroners, just ahead on the corner, to be properly dealt with, or should I say, improperly dealt with. The Witch Sisters had the coroner under a spell, forcing him to siphon the gold from the blood of his latest batch. After extracting the souls, gold, from the dead, he dutifully brought the infused concoction to the sisters. Some believe this is how 3 women older than spit harnessed their powers. Night after night, fresh crops of corpses were delivered to the coroner. And at the end of each night, the coroner had a pile of bloody sheets to his left and bloodless bodies to his right. It was like totally gross. But not all of the deceased drained by the coroner had a burial plot in the Jacksonville cemetery. The dead, without family or friend or plot, were simply tossed into the field up ahead and left to decay under the gnashing claws of the vultures. But as we know, strange things happen in Jacksonville. The dead once again began to rise. eyes. They drifted across the fields on the prowl with an insatiable thirst. Luckily for them, they were mere meters from Eagle Brewery.
Eagle Brewery, a place where even spirits can have spirits.
Legendary for everyone.
Not the kind of place you'd stop for a quick bite. Up ahead, we will soon pass Britt Gardens. Now a popular venue for music and the arts, these grounds were once home to Jacksonville's most prominent photographer, Peter Britt. Britt and his lens are perhaps best known for their landscape works, family portraits, and the deeply disturbing daguerreotypes of the dead. These haunting images were captured on silver plate with the use of mercury vapor. Poised in lifelike positions, the deceased were flanked by surviving family members for one last picture together.
Okay, everyone hold still.
But Britt's camera captured more than he bargained for.
Say cheese.
Did someone say photo bomb? They say a picture is worth 1,000 words. Good thing, because I don't think anyone in that picture will be talking for a while. Truly, dead men tell no tales. Ahead on the right, the childhood home of Pinto Colvig, better known to many as Bozo the Clown. Many clowns try to make us laugh, but apparently not even the grave can stop bad humor.
Why did the ghost go into the bar?
Why?
For the booze.
Boo!
What's it like to be kissed by a vampire?
What?
It's a pain in the neck.
Get off the stage!
It's no wonder clowns and unlucky miners were driven to drink. Just in case you missed it, we're about to pass the brewery again. Let's make it a double. Feast your eyes on the Brewery of Blood. Ahead on the right, Wangun's Chinese washroom made a lot of money, cleaning the blood-stained laundry from the coroners. One day, Wangun heard the whispers of lost souls crying for release. Using ancient Chinese secrets, he set these spirits free by summoning the water dragon named Calgon. Oh, Calgon, take me away. Wangun grew very suspicious of the coroner, who stumbled from place to place as if under a spell, carrying large jugs of a strange glowing liquid throughout the town. However, the coroner wasn't the only one seen stumbling through the streets. Our lushy yet lovable Sheriff Terrell still struggled to find the D'Atremont brothers, but let's face it, he couldn't find a corn on the cob on the 4th of July. And there he is, right on cue.
I've been drinking looking all over town for those boys. Have you seen them, fellas?
Behind you!
Well, jumping Jehoshaphat, I got 'em! Well, thanks, everyone! Y'all earned your reward. Don't forget to ring that bell for any signs of trouble, you hear?
The D'Atremont brothers made it all the way down to Las Palmas, Mexico. But fret not, they were eventually wrangled in and brought to justice. Oh my, is that the ghost of Crazy Clara crossing the street? I thought she had moved on after finding all of her cats last year. Now, try not to run over her again, Francis, okay?
Okay, have you seen my cat? I'm tired.
I sense a great darkness descending. Everyone be careful where you set your gaze. As I've said before, stare into the face of evil, and evil will stare right back at you.
Witches we are, gold riches we keep, by drinking the blood of the worthless and meek. We warned you once of the vengeance we seek, and now it's your soul we're coming to keep.
Francis, what are you doing?
I found you.
Get us out of here!
It appears that Madame Fanghorn and her sisters have been feasting on the souls of the dead and are now coming after us. So as Francis works to get to a blustering 12 miles per hour, I need you all to join me in belting out a ditty of defense, a proclamation of protection, so we can form a protective ring around the trolley and banish them witches for at least the next 0.6 of a mile by singing that old Jacksonville classic. I think you know how it goes. Sing it with me now. Here we go. Strange things happen in Jacksonville. Strange things happen in Jacksonville. You see our streets are full of freaks. Across the town we hear the shrieks, 'cause strange things happen in Jacksonville. I can't hear you. Strange things happen in Jacksonville. Come on, louder. Strange things happen in Jacksonville. The witches try to do their worst, but sing along and lift the curse. Strange things happen in Jacksonville. That's the spirit. Strange things happen in Jacksonville. Yes! Strange things happen in Jacksonville. And now, my friend, we've reached the end, and if you dare, come back again, 'cause strange things happen in Jacksonville. Yes, strange things happen in Jacksonville. Bravo, ladies and gentlemen, I think that did the trick. We seem to have dodged those witches and their wicked ways. No thanks to Francis. Francis, why do you only have one finger? Oh, never mind. My mistake. Egads.
Curses, fair-hearted fools! You haven't seen the last of me! So wherever you go, and wherever you do, I'll be waiting, and I'll be watching, and when you least expect it, I will find
you. Well then, I think you're on your own with that one. This concludes our ride on the Jacksonville Haunted Trolley Tour. We do hope you've enjoyed our time together. It's been my pleasure to guide you on this tour. Remember to take your piece of gold as reward when dearly departing our trolley. And do be careful out there, because strange things happen in Jacksonville. Strange things happen in Jacksonville. Strange things happen in Jacksonville. You see our streets are full of freaks. Across the town we hear the shrieks, 'cause strange things happen in Jacksonville. I can't hear you. Strange things happen in Jacksonville. Come on, louder. Strange things happen in Jacksonville. The witches try to do their worst, but sing along and lift the curse. Strange things happen in Jacksonville. That's the spirit. Strange things happen in Jacksonville. Yes! Strange things happen in Jacksonville. And now, my friend, we've reached the end, and if you dare, come back again, 'cause strange things happen in Jacksonville.